What's this behind the bus? It looks like a SUV. I can see blinkers, but I can't see any markings that indicate it's a government vehicle. And the license plate is black and white. Anyway, both drivers have handed over their licenses and they are being ticketed. I guess there's a lot of things to consider, right? The plate, the blinkers, the busway. Not sure if there was anything else. I just wonder how many times they might have been able to drive through the bus lane without being apprehended because of those blinkers. Anyway, they've been caught up in a SAICT operation today and they are being ticketed. And of course, this will result in confiscation of driver's license, just like I mentioned earlier. There you go, he signed the ticket. They didn't give any kind of argument, to be honest, which is good. I mean, there's a lot of media here also, so generally people are a lot better behaved when there's a lot of TV channels with big cameras standing around. This is something that I'm a little bit surprised to see. The ambulance has a super dark tint on the windscreen. This ambulance came in pretty fast with the lights and sirens, and then according to enforcers, he said he's on his way to pick up a deceased body. I just saw that bus give way for the ambulance, and actually that reminds me of something that I forgot to mention before. There are times when buses are forced to bypass a bus stop because there's an ambulance at the back. So that means you could have 1, 2, or even 3 buses where all the passengers are forced to get off at the wrong stop, and then they either have to ride the bus going back or they have to walk. Now, if it's a genuine emergency, I'm sure that pretty much all commuters would agree it's worth it, right? Save someone's life, it's worth it. And in fact, if you look at this one here, the enforcer is now issuing a ticket because allegedly it's registered as a private vehicle. Now, of course, if you saw the improvised red plate, the blinkers, all those magnetic stickers, you would think and assume that this is but according to enforcers, it's actually a private vehicle. And they just flagged down this vehicle here. It has an improvised plate that says it's a government vehicle. Actually, it doesn't even say government, it says government. It's misspelled. This is also an unmarked vehicle with a black and white plate, but I believe that's most likely going to be and it's going to be a government vehicle. It does have blinkers on the front, but it doesn't have any markings to suggest who it belongs to. And there you go, the enforcers just confirmed that it is actually a government vehicle, but still it's not on the list of what DOTr is allowed inside the busway. Now, unfortunately, you can't use the cameras anymore for enforcement because of the TRO from the Supreme Court. But you may have seen news reports that LTO might start using MMDA cameras. But my understanding is that they'll issue show cause orders instead of an immediate ticket. This vehicle has an improvised plate and it's marked as an ambulance. According to enforcers, the driver can't show any kind of documents for the vehicle, including a registration. So they're not sure if it's actually registered as an ambulance. According to the enforcers, the driver said he's just heading back to base. He's got a long way to go in the south. And here's another vehicle they flagged down. It does have a red plate, but it has no markings. So they have to verify who it belongs to and whether it's actually allowed inside the bus lane. And there you go, the driver already handed over his license and he is being ticketed for a bus lane violation. They advised the driver that he has to leave the busway once the barriers disappear. I'm just curious whether he's going to or if he's just going to continue straight. Oh, it does look like he's leaving the busway. Maybe. Yeah, no. Maybe eventually. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I have to admit, I still love watching the buses fill up with commuters and then avoid the traffic. I'm going to wrap up the video now, but there is one incident I want to discuss briefly. There was a certain vehicle that was apprehended today. The driver and passenger weren't very happy, which is normal, that happens all the time. But then it went one step further, where they took a picture of the enforcer's ID and then said they're going to send it to a certain person inside a certain government agency. Imagine how that would make the enforcer feel, especially when that's a high-ranking person, right? It's really not fair on the enforcer because all they're doing is their job. They didn't make a mistake, they didn't treat you badly, all they did is issue a ticket because you were using the bus lane. And now they have this worry on their shoulders that because they did their job, they could somehow get in trouble. I just think it's not really fair. It's hard sometimes. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it so that you can have an understanding of what it's like for enforcers that are on the ground.